I glanced at my watch. It was nearly midnight, and I was still alone in the empty diner. The flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows on the faded red booth, and the silence was suffocating. I had taken up a part-time job as the night shift waitress to make ends meet, but this desolate place had an unsettling aura that no paycheck could justify. I busied myself with wiping down the counters, trying to ignore the nagging feeling that I was being watched. Each creak of the wooden floor made my heart skip a beat, as if there was something lurking just beyond my line of sight. The distant hum of the refrigerators was the only sound, amplifying the emptiness of the diner. So I turned to refill the coffee pot. A chill ran down my spine. I caught a glimpse of movement in the corner of my eye, a quick flash of darkness darting between the booths. My breath caught in my throat, and I spun around, only to find an empty diner once again. My imagination must be playing tricks on me, I thought, but the unease persisted. The air grew heavier, and a sense of foreboding hung over the diner like a dark cloud. I glanced out the window, half expecting to see someone or something staring back at me from the deserted street outside. Instead, I found my own reflection, pale and wide-eyed, staring back at me with a mixture of fear and curiosity. With a shaky breath, I tried to regain my composure and focus on my work. But the eerie silence was shattered by a sudden clattering noise. Startled, I spun around, nearly dropping the tray I was holding. The noise had come from the kitchen, as if pots and pans had been knocked over in a violent frenzy. My heart raced as I crept toward the kitchen door, the metallic taste of fear lingering on my tongue. The door creaked open, revealing a disheveled scene. Utensils lay strewn across the floor, and the stove burners hissed menacingly as if they were alive. I stepped back, my mind reeling with disbelief. The oppressive atmosphere closed in around me, and I felt a whisper of cold air brush against the back of my neck. A shiver ran down my spine as I turned around, only to be greeted by an empty doorway leading to the dining area. Panic began to claw at my chest as I realized I was no longer alone in the diner. I stumbled backward, my heart pounding in my ears, when a chilling laughter echoed through the air. It was a haunting, otherworldly sound that seemed to emanate from every corner of the room. Shadows danced and twisted, taking on grotesque forms that made my blood run cold. Fear consumed me, and I sprinted toward the exit, desperate to escape the nightmare that had engulfed the once familiar diner. But with each step I took, the distance seemed to stretch infinitely before me. The door remained agonizingly out of reach, taunting me as I ran in place, trapped in this nightmarish limbo. The laughter grew louder, an unholy chorus of deranged voices, driving me to the brink of madness. I screamed, my voice drowned out by the cacophony, as the shadows closed in around me, their cold tendrils wrapping around my body, suffocating me in their grip. Just when I thought I couldn't take it any longer, the laughter abruptly ceased, and the shadows dissipated into thin air. I found myself standing at the exit, panting and trembling, the night air a welcome relief against my clammy skin. I stumbled out onto the empty street, my mind reeling from the horrors I had witnessed. The diner loomed behind me, its windows dark and lifeless. I knew that I would never return to that place again, but the memory of that night would forever haunt my dreams, a reminder of the darkness that dwells in the corners of our world, waiting to consume those who dare to be alone in its domain.